Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be going over a few things, mainly like how to get ready for a long trip, maybe a 10-day trip. What kind of bike is a good bike to take on a trip? Something like a cruiser bike. What features on the bike would be good for that? And then all the gear. What's a good set of gear if you're kind of new to doing some long distance rides? What kind of gear do you want to get together before you go on a trip? And then there's two little secret weapons that help make a trip just that much better, and I'll show you those two at the end of the video. But anyway, let's go for a quick ride.
Went down to the river. I went down to the river.
Probably should mention too, we typically stay out of the big cities. We're mainly, shooting for the little towns, and we rarely make reservations, motel reservations. We try and find like the cool little places to stay, not the big fancy places. Just a little bit funner. If you could park with your bike right out in front of your little motel room. Oh, it's so convenient when you're getting your gear off the bike or putting it on. You can keep an eye on it real well. And we typically don't have girls come with us, not for any particular reason, but we just haven't really had groups that women have come out and have ridden bikes with us. So but this year we got 2 girls going. Try and do as little freeway riding as possible, so try and stick on the 2-lane roads, get off into the back country a little bit. Usually start pretty early in the morning. We don't sleep in till 9, which is actually really nice, but if you want to get the most out of the day, you want to try and start pretty early. And so we get up, we're probably on the road by 6 in the morning. And then just depending on how many miles, we might push 3, 5, 6, 700 miles a day. You can average, on average, this isn't, a hard fact, but on average, if you're planning on 50 miles an hour, that's actually a pretty good miles per hour to plan on. So, say if you got a 300-mile day in front of you, you probably have about 6 hours of riding time. And you can always trim that a little bit, or it might take you a little longer. But in general, if you just roughly plan 50 miles per hour, you're going to be in good shape, because you want to have time to stop and do stuff and see things. And
maybe a chili burger, whatever you like.
Okay, so let's get into the good stuff, like setting up the trip. I tried to make a list here of some main things I wanted to make sure I mentioned, but the number one thing is set your date for the trip. Don't put it off, just set your date. Take that time off of work and just make the trip date number one. And then if you're doing group rides, say it's just a few guys, plan out 3, 4, maybe 5 months. You want to make sure you give yourself enough time to take time off from work, get that on the books, take care of any responsibilities. Maybe there's some attractions you guys want to see, make sure you get those reservations taken care of. Give you time to get your bike ready, get the maintenance done. If it's a bigger group, say like 5, 6, 7, 8 guys or girls, you want to make sure that you maybe give a little bit more time, maybe 7 months, 8 months. But the more people, it tends to take a little bit more time getting everybody ready and on the same date. Then after you pick the date, get together, start having some breakfast. Go meet for breakfast, got some dinner parties, and start planning a little bit more of the detail stuff. And the details is kind of fun, because you actually get to start picking all the cool stuff you're going to go see. Maybe you need to make reservations. If you do hit some of these little towns, they don't have a ton of motels, so in some cases you might want to make reservations. So just think of that. It's always it's always tricky getting hotels for larger groups. You know, make sure you get your bike insurance, your registration tab, stuff like that taken care of. Call your credit card company. Say, hey, I'm going to be going into all these states, and bring cash. Bring a good chunk of change. You know, try and bring, you know, $300-400 just in case you need cash. Okay, let's cover some of the stuff you want to bring on a trip, just from a riding gear kind of point of view. If you're new to it, you're not really sure what to do, what to get a good helmet. Number one thing, make sure that helmet fits you good, and then get a nice jacket. You know, get a nice jacket. Get a riding jacket with ventilation in it. Get some boots. You don't have to get expensive boots. You don't have to get fancy boots. Just get a nice pair. Even construction boots are fine. That's what I normally wear. I don't bring riding pants, but a lot of people do. A lot of people will bring riding pants. And then I usually ride with open gloves most of the time. And but you can get some neoprene, you know, some closed gloves. That's actually really nice if you have that. If you can bring chaps, you can throw those on in a nice cold morning. If you're starting real early and it's really cold out, you can throw those chaps on, and it cuts that cold. It feels so nice not to have that cold air hitting you. And I'd say the next one is rain gear. If you do get some rain gear, get some high-vis rain gear. And there's all kinds of rain gear. You don't have to spend a lot of money on rain gear either. You can actually go down to like one of the department stores and just get some cheap rain gear just to have that. And then, you know, you can always get better and better stuff, more expensive stuff. But oh, here's a good one. What kind of bike should you get if you're going to go on some long trips? Well, I probably have a little biased opinion on that. But if you're kind of into doing the kind of riding like I was showing at the beginning of the video, you know, get a bike that has a windshield, a fairing, saddlebags in the back that lock. That is really nice. If you get saddlebags that lock, you can leave stuff in the bike and you're not so worried about it getting, you know, stolen. But get one that's comfy. Make sure when you sit on it you're comfortable. Some highway pegs. I don't know if you can see these, but you know, something where you can change your foot angle like this, where you can just throw your foot up and just change your leg angle. And maybe something with a little luggage rack on the back so that you can throw a bag or something like that up there. I typically have always ran with one of those waterproof dry bags. That was fun days right there. I remember that. God. Okay, here's how I set my bike up. I got this little compartment here, which is really convenient. It's quite big, and I can put all kinds of stuff in here, like my glasses, hand sanitizer, mask, GoPro batteries, just anything like SPF 50 sunscreen. All that kind of stuff can go in here. Wallets, gloves, flashlights, registration, maybe extra pair of keys. Anything that you want to get to quick, you know, can go in here. And then in this saddlebag, I usually throw stuff in it that I don't want to get to. You know, if I could leave it in there the whole trip, awesome. But for me, it's just stuff like chaps, rain gear, tools, maybe extra rock strap, a tire pump, things like that, manual, stuff I don't really need to get to, but I want to take with me. I'll throw in this side, and that's the street side, so it's convenient to just, you know, get that on the street side. And then on the right side, that's the kind of stuff you want to get to often. That's like your hat, you know, maybe like an extra sweatshirt or something like that. Gloves, goggles, throw the goggles. or your sunglasses in old socks, and just maybe like neck gaiter, things like that, the bike lock, stuff that you want to be able to get to quick. And then always leave enough room so that you can put like a jacket and stuff like that on this side if you want to take it off when you're riding as the day warms up, or if you want to grab something real quick and put it on, you want to have some extra room in here. And then up here, that's usually where I put my dry bag. That's usually the bag I'll take into the hotel. And this year I'm going to run it like this. I'm going to run the bag like that. And then right here I'm going to have a cooler, some ice, a couple refreshments in there. And I think that's how I'm going to roll this year. I'm going to give it a shot. Okay, and for the secret weapons, this is a must. You have got to get yourself a gremlin bell. Now, I don't think you can buy your own yourself. You have to have someone gift it to you, if I remember the rules right. But you want to get a gremlin bell. Just to give you an idea, you know, out of all the bikes that have been on our trips, all the people, everybody had a gremlin bell except one bike on one trip, and that bike ended up crashing and ended up getting totaled out, like totally destroyed. So I don't think I'm superstitious, but maybe I am a little bit. Okay, the second one, this is a good one too. Came across this a few years back. Is some of that monkey butt gel. Monkey butt gel. It's like almost like a deodorant stick, but it's made for, you know, in between your legs there, and just trying to keep the chafing down. I'm telling you, if you guys ride in super hot weather and you're putting down big miles a day, you know, say 500, 600 miles a day, you'll get that. It's kind of an embarrassing topic, but you'll get that rash, and it will kick your ass. It will make it where you will not want to ride that bike anymore. But you throw on some of that gel, and it is night and day different. Hope you guys have an absolute blast on your rides, and that'll about wrap it up. See you guys on the next ride.